Today we're going to speak about trauma and how it impacts you, whether it's a breakup, school, or family member passing away. I'll show you how the impact is to this day. If it's 3 years, 5 years, 10 years in the past, I'll show you exactly how it's impacting you in this moment. With that being said, my name's Gary. I've helped over 100 clients with various addictions and mental health challenges, and I'm becoming a best-selling author in the depression category. Now, trauma is something that I usually disregard as, I'm a man. I don't need trauma. It doesn't impact me in any way, shape, or form. But that's not true in any way, shape, or form, is it really? So I'll show you two examples, two stories that I have that will maybe resonate with you, but many more do. So first one, let's say break up, and a girl or a boy is working in some sort of shop. Very mundane example. They're working in a shop, or they're working in a bar, or they're working in anywhere. They're just working in general, and you're going over there to give them some sort of feedback or something. Well, what do you say about that place where they're working? So let's say a shop or a bar. You say, I don't want to go there. Why don't you want to go there? You say, yeah, I don't like I don't like the drinks. I don't like the aesthetics. I don't like how it feels. I don't like it costs a lot. These are things we'll say on a surface level easily, and they make sense. They don't like it. Why don't you like the drinks? You don't like the drinks. Why? Well, we could trace that back to a place, in fact, where you don't like it because of your partner, of your ex. It's kind of like if you're in a good environment, good people on holidays, it doesn't matter where you are. If you have a few drinks or you have a nice meal, if it's a good environment, the food's going to taste good. Yeah, that's it. It's just all sparkles together. So that person is now stopping you indirectly from going to a certain location, and that's clearly impacting your actions today. Clearly impacting your actions today. Now, that's a person. That's a person if they passed away. That's a person of a relationship. This one is more of an example of you and how you internalize and how you view things. And I'll get onto that in a moment. But things like there'll be a fire again, change. So what do we mean by change? And I also have aesthetics. Aesthetics could be changed for I don't like the look, which is still aesthetics, I suppose, but I don't like the feel of the place. Or you can say the drinks would be the cakes. The drinks would be I don't like the cinema. I don't like how far away it is. You can change it for whatever it is, whatever you want. The cost, it costs too much. Well, it's too much of this, too much of that. You can say anything. You replace those words with whatever you want. The pub with the shop, like I said. So it'd be like a fire again. Now, you can change what it means to you. And that's what you need to do, in fact. See, if I just thought it was a fire, and I thought the shop, the cinema, the pub was just a fire, then I'm not going to go over there at all. I'm not going to think I want to go to the pub, the bar, the restaurant, the cake business, the shop, the cinema, whatever. I'm not going to want to go there because in my mind, it's associated with a lot of pain. Now, that's on a subconscious level, not a conscious level. Yeah, how do we change that? Well, that might be another episode, but I'll give you a little bit of an insight. First of all, you got to walk over to the fire, get close to it, and then as you feel a little bit warmer, go a little bit closer and go a little bit closer. And eventually you get to the place where you realize it's actually not a fire. It's not a fire at all. Although our mind has convinced ourselves it's a fire, we realize, oh my God, this thing is not what I thought it was. And you can realize that, and you start saying, no, maybe the bar, the restaurant, the place is actually just completely destroyed in your mind. And they aren't bad examples. This one, let's see how this one actually impacts you more. So, the school, all right, it was hard. I failed many times, and I failed many tests many, many times. People will know that for sure if you know me from school. I was stupid. I am stupid. I can't do that. Now, this is an example where if I don't know algebra, which today I stand here in front of you and I confess I do not know algebra. I have no clue about it. Long division I struggle with. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Multiplication. I mean, you just add a bracket into a math equation for me and I'm gone. And I have no problem accepting that. But let's say you did, or someone else did. Let's say they thought that because I can't do that thing, I'm stupid. Because I haven't done that thing twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, I believe I'm stupid. Now here comes a little interesting situation. This one's about you, about me. Conscious, subconscious. So the accepted fact. Fact is underlined. Why? Because we think beliefs. Beliefs are facts to us, but they're not reality facts. So if I think I'm stupid because I haven't done algebra and I don't know algebra, therefore when I go to do a course, I'm going to think that I can only take away 30% of this course. I'm only going to think that I can take away 10% of this course. Why? Because I think I'm stupid. If that's the case, then therefore, if you have a genius person, you have a smart person, or you have a smart person who thinks they're smart, You've got a stupid person who, under the surface, thinks they're stupid. They're both going to take the same course, but the person who thinks they're smart is going to retain more information. Why? Because they believe they're smart and they can retain this information. The stupid person says, I've got trauma from school. And they don't say, nobody says I've got trauma from school. Well, I mean, okay, I suppose some people do, but nobody goes out of their ways and go, I've trauma from school. So that's why I can't do anything in my life. That's not the way it is. That's not what we say. We say things like, yeah, I can't do that, or I'm not good at that, and that was too hard for me, and these type of things. But if we believe those sentences, here's a bit of a complex gray area for me, by the way. So you could say all of these, like to me, terrible at maths in many ways, terrible at many subjects you'd give me in school, but I don't believe I'm stupid at all. And you could also say someone who's terrible at all the subjects and actually believes they're stupid. So this is a gray area. How come they process it differently? How come they believe it subconsciously rather than they believe they can succeed or they can believe they can go on to be smarter? That is a great complex area for me. We say the same sentences. I am terrible at algebra. The other person over here says, I am terrible at algebra. Oh no. And they're actually believing that they're the worst person in the world or they're stupid. And I'm believing that, like, I'm good. I don't know. I didn't know it then. I don't know it now. I don't give a if I know it. And that's a fascinating area to me. This person, same sentence, different meaning. And that is a real key point. The relationship or a family member or a situation, a trauma, same situation can happen to two people react differently. People like myself, I try to help people go from a bad place to a good place, a bad meaning to a good meaning. And when I have a good meaning, aka all of this will dictate your actions. All of this will dictate your actions from a long time ago. Now, if you have a good meaning, you might go to that pub. You might build a relationship with a person there. You might actually take different actions. You might not have a lot of resentment to certain drinks. You might not think things cost too much. You might start liking more aesthetics. Because look, that is how it is impacting you. If you don't like that aesthetic in that bar, that means you don't like that aesthetic in a different bar. If you don't like that drink in there, then you don't like that drink in there. So it starts molding and shaping your actions on a week to week basis. If you believe you're stupid here, well then going to do that thing, you shouldn't do that thing. Why should you do that thing? Because that's complex and that's hard. So then you eliminate 50,000 things that you could do, maybe to earn money or to grow income or to start a business or to become more intelligent or better for relationships. You could do things, but you're eliminating them because we're stupid. I'm stupid. And I say that affirmation, but I don't have any belief that I have that affirmation. Other people say I'm stupid and I'm stupid. It is absolutely very interesting to me that school, relationship, family life, career, personality, memories, all of those things are impacting us here and today. That's what I believe. They shaped us who we are today. But now what do we do? What do we do now? You could go get help to re-trigger the meanings. AKA, let's say you have a financial, give you a different example. One last example before we go. Is you want to become more wealthy. If you want to become more wealthy, but subconsciously believe you're not capable of having wealth and also you're not good enough to have wealth, well, then what are you going to do in terms of taking action? You're probably going to take a lot less action. Why are you going to take less action? You don't think you're good enough. You don't think you can. So therefore, why would you try? So figuring out where those beliefs came from, figuring out where those habits came from, you can then take conscious new decisions, new habits, new actions, which will give you new results. That will challenge your old belief, literally. Oh, you've got a load of money now? Oh, but you said you weren't good enough. That's literally challenging your past belief. So going back, rewriting the meaning, rewriting the story, and here's an exercise I'll give you. Write your life from 0 to 18. Write down your whole script, what has happened in your life from 18 to right this moment, and from this moment, future. So, for example, write down 0 to 18, what you have in your life, what you actually perceive that moment to be, what you perceive this moment from 18 to 20, 30, 40, and then from that age onwards into the future, how you want the new script or a different idea coming into it. And you can choose a domain, relationships, health, finance, career, any of those domains you can choose, or you can just do it for your personality, your trajectory, yourself. I hope you've had a fantastic day. In this episode, we've discussed how trauma is impacting you in this moment. If you do want to have a call around trauma, click the link in the description. I'd love to have help in some way, shape, or form. Release some triggers, create a new pathway, create a new habit for yourself. With that being said, have a fantastic day. It is Gary the Expert. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.